How we going, folks? How's it going? We are getting ready to continue purchasing, doing our spending spree. Looks like we're going back 1 year to 91 from the 92 to pick up the 787B. This will be this car. From everything I've heard, is pretty phenomenal in this game. So I don't know that we're going to learn too much here, other than we should have purchased it a while ago. I forget what those wheels are called in the front, but they actually like pull air aggressively through the braking system. That's why they're that mismatched too. The front wheels have like massive air intakes, so they're very actively pulling air into the wheel. And then the rears don't need it quite as much, because you're not getting that same force for the back end that you are in the front. Let's go ahead. We already have too much power, but let's see what we can buy for this thing. This is again going to be a car that we have to detune, and we are not going to be running this in Spa, so I'm just not going to try to detune it to that level. I'm purchasing all the tires. This track doesn't really do anything in terms of it doesn't have weather that really affects you so much, so it's not that big of a deal. We don't need all that, but I mean, this isn't the only time we're going to run this car, I'm sure. This is a four-rotor car, so it's the Nissan. It was nice. I mean, in terms of engine sound, it was all right. Nothing spectacular, but this motor sounds pretty good. And if you've swapped either the RX-7 or the RX-8, this is where the engine's coming from, is this car. So you've heard it. A little history about this car is it's the only Japanese car, I believe, at this point that's won Le Mans. So it's a pretty big deal. I'm actually going to pull this. Oh man, yeah, that hurts pretty bad there. That'll give us a little bit more room. Not bad. All right, good enough. We'll leave it there. So we did the smaller turbo. Dang. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're cutting the power in half on this thing. But it should be fine. And I'll do the same thing I did with the Nissan R92CP, I think it was called. Weird name. Where we'll get up front and then just kind of get an idea of how this thing's pulling fuel and destroying tires, and I'll let you guys go. So you can hear right away the engine noise it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's hard not to love a four-rotor motor. They just, I mean, literally scream. Even though this is an older car, it's got the the instruments look higher tech to me. I don't know what all those numbers on the left are. 80.5, I don't know what that means. This must not be running a turbo at all. I don't have the turbo gauge down there. So when you don't have the high RPM turbo, it might be an NA car. So we got the water temp gauge, we got digital RPM. Looks like that's an odometer, 106. Nope, because it's dropping now. What is that? We do have a speedo in kilometers. A gear indicator. Shows us our lap time on the display. So if you wanted to run this with like a more bare bones HUD, you can still see what your lap times are. That's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know what the 74 point whatever over there is, or the number above it. Maybe that's fuel economy? It's maxing out. It's almost like an instant fuel gauge. Or like not a gauge, but a fuel average. Again, this car has a 5-speed transmission, and it sticks. So it's running very strong. I mean, with it being detuned so much, it's pretty. These cars are not a real challenge to it. We're already in 3rd place. Me ignoring the brake zones. Just wanting to push on the car harder than it can handle. We did 3 laps and ended up with 1/4 of a tank going down. And it's on fuel map 1. Oh my go ahead and adjust the fuel map out to 6. Try to conserve fuel. Because we're not really doing too bad on the tires either. I don't think this car needs to pit. I mean, with it on fuel map 1, if we get 3 laps out of you know, pushing hard, that'd put us at 12. So we're just trying to pull an extra lap with the other 3/4 of a tank. I don't see any reason why this car couldn't do this real easy, even with me driving sloppy. I'm definitely pushing on those corners there. But this is one of those cars that'll get you through pretty much any of the high-end races. I mean, as long as it qualifies, it should be more than capable of doing whatever it needs to be handling. And you can use it here to grind. Oh God. I'm sure it's just as capable at Spa. I just didn't want to run the hour-long race. There's no rain here or anything like that. I know if you were running the hour race, you'd end up hitting some rain. I don't think this car would have any issue. I mean, you might have to swap tires or that sort of thing, but it's got so much grip that you're going to still outgrip the competition pretty dramatically, even in the wet. And you could see when I set the car up, I mean, it wasn't like I didn't do anything to the suspension. I just bought the car, threw the parts on it, and then did what I had to do to make it qualify. I usually do try to cut the engine power first before messing with the weight too much. For one, the weight helps you fine-tune them a little bit better. And two, you know, power's good if you have a lot of like long stretches, but weight reduction and weight management is important for everything. So it's better for acceleration, better for top speed, better for cornering. So if you can make sure that your weight is managed, it just makes for a better handling car. So we're at the halfway mark. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, because we are not needing to pit. We're in first. Now it's just a matter of running the rest of the race here. But I am going to be purchasing the Stingray prototype next, and that will probably run at, is that Le Mans? I think it's Le Mans that has the 30-minute race. And we'll do the same type of format. If I can get to where I'm in the lead and not really questioning whether or not I'm going to maintain it, I'll go ahead and let you guys go early, and if not, you're free to tag along. But that car is pretty cool. Well, we'll talk about that in the next one. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a happy Halloween.